Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon
Daily.
We're happy. Bourbon Daily.
Who's doing it?
Bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we complete a bracket challenge to determine the best bourbon cocktail. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Kathy Poole, Lori Mangum, and Vaughn Nieters.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey.
Hey, so we were talking about some heavy stuff in between the shows, and that's why we had a little joke there at the beginning. But we're gonna pull it back together here and be our normal, usual, funny selves. Right? We're funny. All right, we're funny.
We are funny.
Yeah,
We're
we
hilarious.
think we're funny.
We're hilarious. So, Vaughn Nieters, you said there's something you want to talk about. What is that, sir?
There is. So I heard a conversation, a question asked on the radio the other day, and I feel like this would be a really good small talk, considering we are on a show that involves drinking.
Wait, what? This is about
He
drinking?
hasn't gotten to it yet.
Oh yeah, we are on the Bourbon Daily. Just to reel it back in for you. What do you guys think the appropriate age to first have alcohol is, or like what do you think the legal drinking age should be? Both. I want both answers. What do you think? What do we think?
I think legal drinking age should stay at 21. I think that's good. I just think about myself in high school, and if all of a sudden it's free reign, I don't think that's a good thing. 21's fine. I think that's okay. I think there should be exceptions to that. If you're serving our country, you're over, you put your life on the line. There should be a waiver of that. You've proven that you have some responsibility, some maturity. I think that if you're active military, you should be able to drink. That's just me, though. I have no say in any of that stuff. In terms of appropriate age to drink, I think, as early as, say, 6 or 7, with your parents under a controlled environment. You want to taste that, you want to sip that. I'm not saying sitting down and having a whiskey with me or anything like that.
Right, you're not talking about getting drunk or whatever, yeah.
I think if you raise a child in a situation where it's not this weird thing that only adults do, you're setting up a situation where they don't go crazy when they finally have some responsibility, some time away from you, whether that's high school age and they're over at friends' houses or they're in college. There's this whole thing of going crazy because they've been kept away from it. I think there's a way to responsibly introduce children to that. And again, that's how I was raised. Hey, want to taste this? You can taste it. My daughter, whiskey was never a thing, but if we had like Thanksgiving dinner and there was a wine, we'd be like, you want a sip of that? You would allow her to try that stuff. And just don't make it some weird thing. And again, she wasn't drinking a glass. We never said, okay, this is but a taste. I think that's okay to do at a relatively young age, I guess. But again, not drinking, not turn them loose, not say, hey, do it with your friends. Here's a bottle. We've taught you how to do this responsibly. No, I think the age of 21 is appropriate for people to drink. So
That's
yeah.
an interesting point. Like in European countries, they, your kids,
Sure.
give them a hot toddy. They need to go to sleep, give them a shot of whiskey.
Right.
That makes sense. In my family, it was always like this forbidden thing. So, yeah, I started drinking when I was probably 13, 14 years old, and it was something I hid from them. And it probably wasn't the best way to go about that. Had it been something like, you know what? You're going to bring me the beer from the fridge, and I'm going to pop the cap and spray the beer in your face like this fun little joke. Well, then maybe you should taste the beer and it would be okay.
Right.
As far as how old should people be to drink it like legally in public, I'm not a fan of punky kids, so I'm going to say 25.
25. Okay.
Oh.
That's who I want sitting next to me at a bar.
We're gonna
The
increase the
youngest
age
is
to 25.
Wow.
Okay. Imagine not being able to even drink in college at any point.
That would suck.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that might
But that's
might
the
make
thing,
more
they're
problems.
doing it. Like I
Yeah,
have
'cause-
friends who raise their kids with, we had a candy jar in the house, and now if they wanted something, it was there. Well, when I was growing up, candy was like, oh my God, candy. I want all the candy, and I have the cavities in my teeth to prove it. But if you make it like a norm, then they won't
Go
abuse
crazy.
it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Right, but that's very specific. If you make the legal age 25, think about these
That's just
strict
because I
households
don't
that
want
can't
those
have it.
punky-ass kids in my bar.
Right, but they're gonna be those kids at 25 now because that's when the legal drinking age is.
Yeah, I think that the punkness is directly correlated to like not having access and wanting to go hog wild. So I have a lot of friends that live abroad, and it's just really normal 15, 16 years old. Like that is the legal drinking age in most of the EU. And so it's just not a thing. Like they're not punks because they're just that's normal. And it's a combination of they were raised in households that normalized it, not in excess, and then they also had access to it in controlled environments sooner.
So
Yeah.
maybe I changed my answer to, can you sit and have an intelligent conversation with me?
Okay.
Then
Oh, well,
you can
that
drink
gets
with that.
a lot of adults are out with that qualifier.
Right?
No. No.
I think it's important that kids grow up and see, like, you can have a drink without getting shit-faced, right?
Mhm.
Like, having a drink doesn't mean we're drinking. Like, you can have a
Right.
glass of wine with dinner. You're not drunk. You're just enjoying something. And I think that's
Yeah.
important to see. And in America, we don't have that culture. Like, American culture is like, you're drinking. Oh my God, you're a drunk. Like, that's not true. Like, and like Lori said, European kids, they see that. Like, mom and dad are like having a drink at lunch or brunch because they can. And mom and dad aren't drunk. We're going to go have a normal day. American kids don't see that way. And I think that's important. But I'm with Steve. I think if you have joined the military, you're past boot camp, you're really enlisted, have a drink at 18, baby. Like, if you can come in with like a military ID, you deserve a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Some
Americans
bullshit.
aren't great
Yeah,
at
you get-
moderation in general. So
I mean, they're voting. Why aren't they drinking?
Right.
Yeah, no, but I'm also on team, like, so if you made it 18, I didn't graduate I was 18 when I was a senior in high school. You do not need seniors buying other children alcohol. You don't need that. Not need
Right.
that happening. So I
Right.
think, yes, you're 18, you've been through boot camp, here's your military ID. Absolutely. But high school kids do not need to be buying alcohol.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I feel strongly about the military thing. I just feel like if you can get shot, you can get killed in support of your country. To say you can't have a drink.
They can
That's-
vote, you should be able to have a drink. Yeah, I definitely agree on that.
Yeah. All right, Von Nieters, you asked a question. What's your answer?
So I'm kind of along the lines with Lori and McNew here on this. I think, well, I guess kind of all of you guys on the opinion of like, I think it should be more normalized on like, sure, you can try things here and there as a younger person, before you're of legal drinking age, to not necessarily drink, but to, hey, I want to try this, try that. I mean, I remember when I was, I don't know, probably 10 or so, my aunt's here, try, do you want to sip of my beer or whatever, or what, and, most kids are going to be like, oh, that's gross anyway. So
Yeah, they're not going to like it.
yeah, exactly. But you guys brought up a good point with the legal age being 18 if you're a military person. I was just thinking making it the legal age 18 across the board, because I mean, if you can buy cigarettes and vote and at least, serve for our country, what's the point of not being able to drink too illegally? Yeah, I don't know. The military thing though does kind of put another level on that, because I mean, you've definitely earned it if you're willing to serve for our country.
Yeah, but if you think about like a normal high schooler who might be 18, you don't want those little shitheads buying alcohol for other little shitheads. Like,
Right.
that's not going to go well for anybody.
That's true, but do you want them to get it out of the way then and before they go into college when they're starting to think about their career?
Well, what if they buy? Okay, this is just getting too heavy. I won't even go there.
Okay. Fair enough. On that note, we're going to let this one go, and it's time to drink. What's everyone drinking? I'm going to go first. Hemingway Rye. One of the best bottles in the biz, for sure. That's a great
love
bottle.
that.
Love that bottle.
I do. I love the bottle. I love the whiskey. So
Whiskey's good.
here we go. Swine on the set. Just okay. Okay. Plus, it was. If something goes terribly wrong, I could win this thing, but I don't anticipate that happening. We'll see. Lori's next. Lori, what do you got?
Ooh, I'm drinking some Bullet Rye tonight. Let's see.
Oh, Lori takes over the lead. That was good. That was pretty damn good. All right, Von Nieters, you're next. Get the soundboard out.
All right, she's all ready. We're plugged in. We're tuned in. We've got a Wild Turkey 101 Rye because we were talking about bourbon cocktails, and this one is great in bourbon cocktail.
Oh, that's our lead.
Oh,
That's our lead. Yeah, that was solid. All right. Next up is McNew.
I don't think this will do much. I have a Baker's.
No.
Silent.
Those are cool corks, but yeah, not much going on there.
Beautiful. They're so nice,
Yeah.
but they don't do shit.
Yep. KK, you're last but not least.
So I was going to pull out something that would give Lori the lead, but then Von Nieters took it. So I'm going to open up.
So you're
that
going after
specific- Well, it's not. I've opened it before. It's the Pacific Flyway from Golden Beaver.
Okay.
Just so I can say Golden Beaver.
Sure. Golden Beaver.
For those of you that don't know, I have blonde hair.
Hey now. It's got that glass. Oh!
Oh,
That sounded like champagne.
It
Yeah,
is.
Glass cork.
The glass cork.
Oh,
That
it's
sounded
interesting.
interesting, as they say. Yeah. I don't think that was enough to beat Von Nieters, but it was very unique. It did sound like champagne, totally. It was a weird one.
You could have shot that thing across the room.
Yeah, Von Nieters wins, though. Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we've got an interesting show here. Stay tuned. Don't tune out now being like, I just came for the small talk. You want to stay for the show because Kathy's going to run a bracket challenge for the first time ever. And not only just the first time we're running a bracket challenge, it's the biggest bracket challenge we've ever had. It's a 16 cocktail bracket challenge. Should be fun. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com.
This is Freddie Mills, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. We have a bracket challenge of the best bourbon cocktails.
Yes, we do. So, Kathy, just run through quickly, first of all, the 16 competitors, and then we'll talk about the breakdowns, who's facing who.
Okay. Bourbon cocktails. We have the old fashioned.
Okay.
A sidecar,
Okay.
Manhattan,
Yeah.
bourbon slush,
Ooh, nice summertime.
Kentucky mule,
Ooh, summertime. Very cold. Very cold.
eggnog,
Oh, wintertime. Will that hurt
bourbon
it?
smash,
Summertime.
bourbon tea.
Terrible.
Agreed.
This is how I'm going to say it every single time. Boulevardier,
Boulevardier, yeah, that's a classic. It's a
paper
classic.
plane,
Oh, yeah.
mint
Trendy.
julep,
Delicious.
whiskey and coke,
Solid.
Kentucky 75,
Ooh, fancy.
highball,
Classic.
whiskey sour,
Ooh, can be great, often terrible.
and bringing it in the back end is the Sazerac.
The Sazerac. There you go. There you go. How did he end up with the one finger? Salute there. Von Meter's keeping track, ends up with one hand with one finger. And switch finger. All right. How does this break down? We like to then look at the lineups. Did you just share the order that they're going to be in, or is it different?
So the old fashioned is going to take on the Boulevardier.
Okay. All right. That'll be interesting.
The sidecar is taking on the paper plane.
Oh, okay.
Manhattan against the mint julep.
Ooh, a couple of classics. Battle
Right. Bourbon slush taking on the whiskey coke.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's the matchup.
That's a big battle
That's
there.
the toughest one right there so far.
Kentucky mule against the Kentucky 75.
Okay. Very different. I think I know who will win, but we'll see.
Eggnog against a highball.
Interesting.
Smash against a whiskey sour.
Okay.
And then last, we're going to take bourbon tea against a Sazerac.
Okay. That's a bye week for the Sazerac. We'll see. We'll see. We're trying to find the best bourbon cocktail. This all is an offshoot of a show we did a while back. Tim Swyatt was with us, and we did this show that was somebody put together the best cocktails, and we were like, there's only one. The old fashioned was the only one that made the list, by the way, whiskey cocktail, and we were very upset about that, and we thought the list sucked, and we were like, well, let's create one of just a bourbon cocktails, and we'll do a bracket challenge to see what's best. That's what we've got here today. Round number one. Kathy, you're running this thing. What do you got here?
I am. Round number one. First to go is the old fashioned against the Boulevardier. Von Nieters is first.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I'd just like to say I'm honored to be a part of this biggest bracket challenge we've ever done.
It's historic. It's historic.
Yeah, mark it on your calendars, people.
Yes. Kathy's notes are going to go into our visitor center.
The official archive.
Upcoming museum. Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
I'd like a copy of that and signed, please.
Sure.
By KK Castring.
Yes, please. I'm going to have to go with the classic. We're going old-fashioned.
Old-fashioned. Okay.
Okay, next up is Lori.
I am also going to go old fashioned.
Okay, and then me. Can someone tell me I've had a Boulevardier and I remember it being delicious? Can someone tell me the ingredients?
I think you've had it and it was gross.
Bourbon, Campari, vermouth, and orange twist.
Yeah, if you don't like vermouth, you won't like it. But they're
That's
good.
why I didn't vote for it.
I didn't like
Yeah.
it from the
If you
Campari.
don't like vermouth, you won't like it.
Here's the problem. I love a good old fashioned, but I love vermouth. So I'm giving a vote to the Boulevardier.
Bardier has life.
Vanilla life.
Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to say Boulevardier has life in the game.
There you go.
And next we go to McNew.
I'm going to kill it with the old fashioned.
Hey.
Woohoo!
Hey,
Old fashioned. Had a little bit of a scare there, but it moves on. Interesting. Okay.
All right. Round 2 is the sidecar versus the paper plane. In round 2, going first is Lori.
Don't love Aperol, so I'm going to go sidecar.
Sidecar.
And coming up behind Lori is me.
Okay.
I like the paper plane.
Paper plane. Okay.
Oh, after me, sorry, I was tabulating.
Oh, because you appreciate how hard this work is now.
I know. After me, it's McNew.
So I do like a sidecar, but in certain cities, I like a sidecar in New Orleans. But I love a paper plane everywhere, and I do like Aperol, so I'm gonna go paper plane.
Paper plane.
Really high on my list.
That's 2 for paper plane. And coming up behind McNew is Steve. Is he going to close it out, or is he going to give sidecar life in the game?
Yes, yes. These are definitely not my favorites on the list, so I'm just kind of voting out of 2 of my least favorites on the list. But I'll say sidecar. I'm going to give sidecar to life in this game. I'm going to vote for that.
Hey.
He's going to throw it to Von Nieters for the tiebreaker.
So, what is in a sidecar?
God, if they'd only invent Google.
Depends on
We can
who's
look that
making
up.
it.
Well, I looked up
For the
one.
listeners, I will Google it.
My God.
It's tart. You got like your orange, lemon, that, yeah.
Sidecar.
Yeah.
So
This is
I'm glad
Fascinating show.
none of us
Fascinating show
know.
for the listeners.
I'm doing my best, Steve.
I
I'm
just
doing my
said
best.
it's your orange liqueur, your lemon juice.
Yeah, it includes
Okay.
cognac. If you don't like cognac, you might not like a sidecar.
Okay, there you go.
You know what? Let's go sidecar.
Sidecar moves on.
So you like the
That's an upset right there, folks. First upset
Yeah.
of the bracket
I
challenge.
think
Let's
he
push it.
said that just to argue that McNew's choice was wrong.
Okay.
I
Probably.
don't think I had anything about that, but
That's me. I'm being
Oh.
Steve.
Good
Yes,
job.
she's cosplaying.
oh yeah, thank you,
It's
Steve.
a rabble rouser.
Yeah.
In
Right.
our third round, this is a tough round for me. The Manhattan versus the mint julep.
Okay.
Manhattan, very classic
Mhm.
whiskey drink. Mint julep, it's the drink of New Orleans and the Kentucky Derby. First up is me.
Okay.
Some heavy hitters.
This is hard. Manhattan.
Manhattan. Okay.
It's what I order in every bar that I want to try a Manhattan. So
Okay.
it's on the top of my
Well,
whiskey list.
Okay.
I've been
Checks
with
out.
Jen and I ordered old fashions, and she said Manhattan. She's a Manhattan girl, and I respect that.
Oh, next up is McNew.
So I think Manhattans are heavy and like a winter drink, but mint juleps make me happy. Mint juleps are like derby and flowers and horses and spring. I am going mint julep. I love to make a mint julep.
Next up, Steve Akeley.
Yes. For a while, if you go back to the archives, I was on a Manhattan kick, and I would say that Manhattan was my favorite bourbon cocktail, but I don't know. I've kind of grown past that, and I think the mint julep's a classic and kind of underrated, and I like them every time I drink them. And the Manhattan, it seems like I get more bad ones than good ones. I'm going mint julep. I'm going mint julep.
Okay. Von Nieters.
Very refreshing.
I am also going mint julep. I find them refreshing and delicious. And I agree with Steve. It seems like when you get a Manhattan, most of them are not made
Most bars
correctly.
make them
and,
shitty, yeah.
That's fine. The group has chosen mint julep. Lori's choice for Manhattan won't matter. My choice for Manhattan won't matter. We will move on.
That's a huge upset.
Record, I was
that's
going to
another-
vote for a Manhattan.
Big one.
Okay, well, that doesn't matter.
As a Kentuckian who also as a former, well, I won't say a former New Orleanian because it's my second home still. I've never heard somebody say that a mint julep is the drink of New Orleans. I've never even seen that ordered anywhere in New Orleans.
No.
That would be a Sazerac or a Hurricane, which is not
my
a bourbon
first
cocktail.
trip to New Orleans, I was 14, and I went with my friend's parents, and my friend's mom was like, I have to get a mint julep, and she tried it, and it was horrible, so I drank it for her.
There you go. There you go.
I have to get a mint julep. Yeah, that's definitely a
Like a
Kentucky
weird
thing.
thing to do in New Orleans. But
Or maybe Virginia. They like to claim it, and of course, Kentucky was an extension of Virginia at one point,
Mhm.
really.
Yeah,
So, I
Commonwealth.
don't know. Yeah,
American history, folks, right there.
there you go. There you go. So that's
Round,
no extra cost for that.
We're learning.
round 4, bourbon slush versus the whiskey Coke.
Okay, this is a
Can we-
tough matchup to me. This is
Yeah.
tough.
Can we get a definition of a bourbon slush?
Yeah, let's define that.
So bourbon slush is a frozen cocktail that involves orange juice, the concentrated, the thing that comes in the cylinder, in the freezer
The
section.
toilet paper roll with the
Yeah, it
nut
looks like a
on
toilet
either
paper
side.
roll.
Yeah.
You put that in there.
Concentrated
It's got
Yeah, you get
It's
it in the
got-
freezer section.
It's got bourbon in there, and you like a nice low proof bourbon, like like an 80 proof. Because if you do with a higher proof, you're like, well, I'm a high proof person. I want 120 proof. No, don't do that because that's going to make it too inconsistent. It's going to be too watery. You want to use an 80 proof because it's not going to freeze, but it's going to get almost snow cone like. So, and there's a couple other ingredients in there too. There's this powdered iced tea that you use that's part of it. But yeah, it gives some flavor. Yeah.
it takes some prep. So you got to prep it and throw it in
Yeah,
your deep.
and then because you gotta basically freeze it. So yeah, it's a great summertime drink for sure. The bourbon slush.
Okay. So
like a snow
bourbon
cone.
slush versus whiskey Coke. I don't think we need a definition of whiskey Coke.
I think that's
I think
just the name defines it. So yeah,
Yeah. So
what are the
first-
ingredients?
I
The whiskey
thought
and the
so.
Coke.
Oh,
Yeah.
Von Eaters wanted to say something about
I
it.
did want to say something.
Okay.
So, is it? I know we're saying Coke, but we're talking like cola or just dark soda.
Coca-Cola. Coke.
Just
not Pepsi.
Yeah.
Pepsi can go fuck itself. It is Coca-Cola.
Pepsi
It's not
can go
diet.
back itself.
I think it could potentially be Pepsi. If you go to a place that's a Pepsi place and you order a bourbon and Coke, they're going to give you the Pepsi.
Right.
And I've had that happen, and it's ruined my whole day.
Well, it ruined it.
was
Her
ruined.
day
No,
was-
I don't go to
that
those
was-
places.
What about Dr. Pepper?
It ruined
Dr.
it.
Pepper is fine, acceptable. If you give me Pepsi, I hate you forever.
But what about Dr. Pepper and like bracket
So we're saying whiskey
challenge-wise?
Dr. Pepper, whiskey dark soda, whiskey.
This is what I'm asking.
It's whiskey
I
and
am
Coke.
thinking-
Just say whiskey and Coke.
It's
It's
just
not.
whiskey
It's not
and Coke.
Dr Pepper. That sounds like a different cocktail.
We're gonna
No,
pretend everyone carries Coke.
Right.
Everyone has
Go
Coke.
somewhere you
most
want
part,
a
they
whiskey
Good with
and
that.
Coke.
I'd rather have Coke.
Okay.
We're good.
Straightforward. Coke it
Round
is.
4, bourbon slush versus whiskey Coke. McNew to start.
I really do enjoy both of these, but whiskey slush takes a little bit of work. A whiskey Coke, whether it's Jim Beam White Label, Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, Jack and Coke, I'm a fan of still. It's so easy. It's so you throw some ice in, you throw the whiskey in, Wild Turkey also. Here we are. You just get like a good bottom line whiskey and a Coke. That's so fucking enjoyable. It's still my concert drink. I'm gonna go whiskey and Coke.
Okay. For me, this one isn't close. And you know what served more? If this was about quantity, 100% it's bourbon and Coke. That's one of the iconic drinks for sure, particularly if you're including Jack Daniels as a bourbon. I mean, it's a huge part of bourbon cocktails. But that being said, on a personal basis, I don't see a scenario where I'm going to order a bourbon and Coke unless I'm at like a really shitty wedding reception that only has like some really bottom shelf stuff. And I need to add some Coke in there. there just to make it palatable. Other than that, I will order a bourbon slush, or I'll make them at the house. I think bourbon slush is a much better cocktail offering. Other than, if you're a beginner and you're just starting out, that's a good way to be introduced to bourbon, the bourbon and Coke. But for me, it's not a real cocktail these days. It's not anything I'm going to order. So
All
bourbon
right,
slush.
so we have a tie, which means neither of their votes counted. Leaders, we're starting
It's
with
best
you.
of three. It's best of three now.
Whiskey Coke.
Terrible. Of course, he's 12 years old, so it's fine. It's a fine choice for him.
Lori, are you a 12-year-old, or are you?
Sometimes. I'm actually going to go whiskey Coke, mostly because
Terrible.
I know, mostly just to agitate Steve.
I was going to give you I was going to give you my family recipe for bourbon slush, but I'm not. No.
So actually, here's my real reason for voting for it, because I haven't ever had somebody make really good bourbon slush. Like, I always feel like they use the wrong, like it's too high.
Your world was about to change. I was going to give you Sandy Akeley's bourbon slush secret family recipe.
You have to make it when I come up there, and then you can prove me wrong, and I'll have a good one for the first time in my life.
Steve, I'm with Lori. I've never had a bourbon slush. Where do you even order that? You just said you would order
The
that
Neely
over.
Family Distillery usually has a good
Well, I
one.
haven't been
Oh,
there yet.
really?
Yeah,
I'm
Neely
just
Family's got it.
asking.
I just got one on my last trip there. I was like,
That's
it's
really
already
close.
summertime.
I just roll up there.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. A lot of those places, Maker's Mark. You go to Maker's Mark, and they have the bar. And you can get a bourbon slush while you're strolling around, which is awesome.
No.
Okay, well, next time I go there, I'll have to try it.
Yeah, well, that's nice. It's very refreshing, but it's gone
Moving
from
on.
this.
Kentucky
As wrong as that
Mule.
is, it's gone.
Yes.
Let it
As
go,
wrong
Steve.
as it is, Steve.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Kentucky Mule versus Kentucky 75. And McNew, can you define the Kentucky 75 for me, please?
I can. So it is a riff on the French 75, which is originally gin and lemon juice, simple syrup topped with champagne. The Kentucky 75 is all that same thing, but you replace the gin with bourbon.
There you go.
And sometimes bitters.
And sometimes bitters on top. Yep. They are really, really enjoyable. I like them better than mimosas.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
They're really
the
good.
first to vote is not McNew. It's Steve.
Okay. And the Kentucky 75 versus the bourbon mule.
Kentucky
right?
Mule.
Kentucky
Kentucky
Mule.
Mule.
Yeah, Kentucky Mule all day long on this one for me.
Okay. Next up is Von Nieters.
Yeah, Kentucky Mule all the way.
That's a
All
good
right.
drink.
And then Lori is next.
This is a tough one for me because I love ginger beer. So a Kentucky Mule is just lovely. But I also really love a Kentucky 75. So just to keep it alive, I'm going to vote for that.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts. I'll tell you what. The Kentucky Mule is one of those that's better than the original. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's better
it
than the
is.
original.
Agreed.
Totally.
It was like a Moscow Mule with
It was
vodka.
a vodka.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it-
100% the Kentucky Mule is the way to go.
Yeah.
Get rid of the Moscow Mule. Just
More flavor.
discontinue it. It's discontinued.
Moscow
ended
is
the Moscow
canceled
Mule.
Been
anyways.
replaced.
This is going to make it hard because I'm next. I finally get to have a say. I make Kentucky Mules in my house all the time. I always have ginger beer. I always have
There you
bourbon.
go.
And I always have lime juice. But this Kentucky 75 sounds so refreshing.
They
My
are.
other problem with it is it mixes the grape and the grain.
Oh.
But
It
Mm.
does.
you can have a Kentucky 75 at like 10 a.m. because it's an acceptable brunch breakfast. Start early.
Don't know about this.
I know this is tough because I don't want to be girls against boys. And I drink Kentucky Mules all the time. And if I
You
give
know what the right
Kentucky
answer is.
75 to
Yeah,
the
come on,
tiebreaker,
just say it.
You know what the right
Just
answer
say
is,
it.
the
Kathy.
Kentucky Mule is going.
There we go. There we go. She got it right. Yeah, she did.
Sorry. I had to
took a
work
while.
it out.
It took a while, but she got it right.
I feel like
Lori.
their response, both of these are very good. And like Kentucky Mules are good all day long too. So
Yeah.
Sure.
I will be drinking some Kentucky 75s here in the near
In
future.
the near future. Okay.
how's a good one is Doc Crows.
Yeah, they do. You're right.
Doc Crow. Oh God, Doc Crows. Don't get the food there, but yeah, maybe the cocktails are good.
The food is also very good, Steve.
No.
Steve,
Go
I feel like
to
the
Merle's
next-
Whiskey
moving on.
Kitchen.
Yeah, I agree with Steve on that one. I think
Yeah,
Doc Crow's food
thank
is
you, Lori.
overrated.
Yeah, you're a Kentuckian, and you know,
Mhm.
100%. That
Yeah.
But I
Doc
would
Crow's food is
totally
not good.
Get
Yeah,
a drink on one side of the street and then cross the street.
I'm
to get
fine
the
with
food.
that. I'm fine with saying Doc Crow's is better on the drinks. But maybe that's true.
I like Doc Crow's because Doc Crow's is for nice people. When I went to Merle's
Like Lori's not nice.
volleyball team, I did not enjoy my last visit to Merle's.
Yeah. Well, we don't want you at Merle's, so
Yeah,
we're fine.
don't
We're
go to
fine with
Merle's
it.
on a busy. Like, don't go on game
Yeah,
nights.
Merle-
Don't go on stuff
Us
like
folks
that.
at Merle's are fine with you not coming over there. We're fine with it.
Fine.
Yeah,
I'll,
we're happy.
I'll wave. I will wave from my high horse when you're sitting next to a high school volleyball team or soccer team. Have fun with that.
There's no high school teams.
Oh gosh.
No, so many fucking kids at Merle's. Doc's is less family
There's no
friendly.
kids there.
No, there was.
They're over
when
at
I-
Doc's. They're over at
Have a
Doc's.
good time.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, moving on.
Okay.
This is going to be the
ahead.
round 6, eggnog versus the classic highball.
Okay. This is a tough one. This is a very, very tough one.
This is
I think I know what's going to win, and but we'll see. We'll see.
And starting out the round is Von Nieters.
gosh damn it. Wow. You know what? I hate to do it, but I think eggnog is just more of a seasonal drink, so I'm going highball.
Ah, shit! Shit! I thought he was getting ready to say the right thing. Of course, eggnog is seasonal, but
It's so
captures the
hard.
spirit of the
It
season.
is so good.
No, but
well.
it's not your time to vote, Steve.
So well. And again, nothing wrong with the highball. But it's kind of the blue collar drink of bourbon, right? It's a working drink. It's there. It's always going to be there. It's a cool thing.
I'm a
But
blue collar guy.
No, it's versatile, Steve. A highball could literally.
Wait, let me move on to the next
Anything.
voter.
okay, let's go on.
Lori.
So I feel like, okay, for two things. First of all, a highball is very nostalgic for me because it was my very first bourbon cocktail with my grandmother
Sure.
when I was 16.
My grandma drank
in her
highballs.
kitchen.
Yeah.
But I also feel like you can mess eggnog up real bad. Like that's
Sure.
not consistent for me.
Sure.
I do not always enjoy that. So I'm gonna go highball.
Damn it.
Sorry, Steve.
Here's the
Both
problem.
have both have their own proper glasses, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And not all
That's true.
have their own glasses. There is a proper highball glass. There is a proper eggnog glass. Yeah, 100%.
This is
true.
a tough one because Steve is our tiebreaker. He's our last
You know where I'm going.
vote.
Oh.
Better
And we
fix it
know
before
where
it
he's
gets done.
going.
Fix it for you.
And I'm next.
Okay. All right.
So do I want to throw it to McNew? Absolutely. I'm going to vote for eggnog.
Uh-oh.
Doesn't have much of a chance. McNew hates eggnog, so
I do. I've only liked one eggnog my entire life. I'm going highball. Highballs might blue collar, but they're fun for summer and they are versatile.
I was at Bronner's place with you, and you were drinking down the eggnog like
I
it was
had
going
like
out of
5 of them,
style.
but
Well, he probably makes good eggnog.
He does make good eggnog.
That's the difference.
Go to Bronner's and get eggnog. Yeah.
A highball is like a bourbon and Coke, bourbon and lemonade, dirty Palmers that I'm very much a fan of. Highball, I'm here for a highball. Ginger beer you can put into a highball. I'm
Mhm.
highball all day, every day. Love a highball.
Just so everyone knows, especially Steve Akeley, I voted for eggnog. Moving on to round 7.
I don't hate the highball. That's the hard thing. There's some of
Okay.
them I hate, and I don't hate the highball. So
All right. Round 7, we're doing a bourbon smash versus the whiskey sour.
okay. I also have a horse. here
And
that I
we're
want to-
starting this round with Lori.
Okay, Lori, do
I'm
the right
kinda
thing.
nervous because I don't
Lori,
know
do
what
the right
Steve's
thing.
horses, and I don't want to get kicked out of
Do
the
the
ABV
right
network.
thing here, Lori. Don't make a mistake here, Lori. Do the right
If
thing.
Von Nieters is still here, you won't get kicked out.
I just really like
Well,
a
this
fruity
might be my
smash,
last show.
y'all. I do. I love a fruity smash.
So you're voting
Right.
smash?
I'm voting
No,
smash.
no, she's not. Damn it.
It's okay.
What the fuck?
I'm next.
Yes.
Whiskey sour. This
Thank
is
you.
my test drink at a good bar.
I know. It's a great way to get a barometer. Are they going to be good at cocktails or not? Because I tell you what, there's especially if they just get the mix. You know,
I always ask.
There's no such thing as a good mix. No, it's
if you're
terrible.
going to make it, are you making it with a mix? And if they say yes, I'm not having
No,
it.
thank you. Screw you. You're not good at making cocktails.
No. Whiskey sour.
Whiskey sour.
All right. Next is McNew.
Okay.
I really famously do not like egg whites in a drink. So
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
God damn, we got the chicken nugget queen voting on the serious goddamn drink here.
Oh,
God.
Max,
Unbelievable.
Is serious?
No,
This
I
is
don't
unbelievable.
not like egg whites. I'm not a
The
fan.
whiskey sour gets brought down by someone who's getting nuggies on the way home after getting their
she doesn't care about the nuggies. It's all about the sauce.
Experience.
yeah, she loves ranch, but she won't admit it.
No, ranch is trash. Kick me out of the Midwest. Take my Midwestern card. Ranch can go fuck itself like Milo can. I'm not here for it.
She loves her ranch, but she won't admit it.
Good about the sauce.
So McNew has decided three
I'm in the
things
Midwest,
can
no
go
ranch.
fuck themselves.
Okay.
Milo the Dachshund,
Yeah,
ranch dressing, and the whiskey sour.
the whiskey
And
sour.
Moving on
Pepsi.
to Steve.
And Pepsi, apparently, yes. Yeah.
Steve
The
Aikman.
whiskey sour, of course, the whiskey sour. And the whiskey sour is versatile because not only can you get, it's like the margarita. You can get the margarita or you can get the frozen margarita. You can get the frozen whiskey sour. It's one of the great American cocktails. The frozen whiskey sour, fantastic.
Now that sounds nice. If we'd said
Oh, yeah.
frozen, I would have voted frozen.
Well, do
I
you
think either
want me
one
to
goes.
change your vote? I'm in charge. I'll do it.
Whoa.
It's like the margarita. It's like the
KK's
margarita.
the judge and she's being lenient.
It can be.
I'm the
It,
judge and I'm being lenient. Lori, would you like to change your vote?
No, we can't go back
No.
with the vote.
All right.
No.
Von Nieters, it's
Hey,
up
Von
to you. You're the tiebreaker. 2 votes for Smash, 2 votes for Whiskey Sour, and Von Nieters is going to vote for...
You know, I thought this one was going to be over with before it got to me. I'm kind of surprised that it even got here. I enjoy both. But I'm going to go whiskey sour.
Sour. That's good. The whiskey sour that's a good one. Yeah. And I'll tell you who has a good frozen whiskey sour. The Beam family. The Beam family makes whiskey sours in the summertime. Oh, yeah. I got the recipe, too. Yeah.
Steve, you're going to have to pass that
I'll
on.
have to pass that along. Yeah. I'll have to get you the whiskey sour recipe
We
from the
need
Beam
an
family.
ABV cocktail recipe book.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would
You're
be
working
nice.
on that, Steve?
By Azina Ewalds because nobody
super
else
fun.
does it.
Well, yeah.
McNew has been writing some books lately. Maybe she could
I
write.
do have 2 cocktail books actually. You can find them
Yeah.
online.
There you go. There you go. McNew.
One is
McNew will do
spooky.
that. Yeah.
They're
All right.
both kind of spooky.
That's true.
but
They are both kind of spooky.
Okay, we have the last round of the first round.
Okay.
Bourbon tea.
No, what did the
The whiskey sour moved on.
oh, it did. Okay. I thought it was
Yeah.
tied. Sorry. So
No.
It
I
was
broke
me,
the tie.
you, and Von Nieters was the tiebreaker
all right, perfect. Good.
because Lori wouldn't backtrack on her
Lori, ridiculous.
She was basically
Lori was just being
a-
difficult. Lori was
Yeah.
being difficult.
She's on the fence still.
Yeah, she was doing that on purpose. Okay.
All right, round 8, bourbon tea versus the Sazerac.
This is easy. This is
Right?
an easy one. Go ahead.
Von Nieters.
So bourbon tea, what's a bourbon tea? Is there a
Bourbon
bourbon and
and
tea?
tea.
Bourbon and tea. It's like whiskey
Oh.
and Coke. Which
It's like
is
an
he
ice
also had
pick,
questions
but
about
with
that too.
bourbon instead
literally
of
could be a
vodka.
highball.
Yeah.
So I drink way more bourbon and teas, but I'm going to go Sazerac.
Okay.
All right,
Right answer.
that's 1 vote for Sazerac. Lori,
Sazerac.
you are up next.
Now the New Orleanian votes for Sazerac.
Okay. I'm next. Sazerac has too much black licorice flavor. I'm going to vote for the
It's very subtle. It's only a wash. If you do it correctly, it's only a wash.
trash bourbon tea.
Terrible.
All right.
Oh, CKK was the one that threw that one in there.
Mhm.
No, Sazerac all day, every day.
All right. Sazerac moves on.
I wasn't worried about that because I was going to vote for Sazerac. Once
So
I had
in
the
our
2
next-
votes, I was fine.
Sorry. In our next round, Old Fashioned is going to take on the sidecar. Mint Julep is going to take on the Whiskey Coke. Kentucky Mule is going to take on the Highball, and Whiskey Sour is going to take on the Sazerac.
Ooh, okay. That's interesting, that last one. I know what I want to vote for, too. I've already got the last round. In my mind, I'm locked in.
Steve, I think you've already got the winner in your mind.
I know. I probably do. All right.
He's using Jedi mind tricks on us now.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just
This
going
is
to tell
not the
you,
cocktail
I
you're
haven't
voting
had a
for.
chance to drink very much during this round, and Steve works hard.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
I'm just going to take this moment to pour another.
There you go.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Anybody else need to pour another?
Yeah,
Sure.
I think
No
so.
problem.
Think so.
It's been a long show. It's been a long show. All right.
You might have to make this into 2 parts.
It's a two-parter. Yeah, that'd be good, actually. I am going to cut this. This will be a two-parter. There you go. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Von Nieters, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Von Nieters.
Lori.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Spirited Curves.
KK.
You can find me wondering what's in a Bucky Nugget,
Beaver Nugget.
Beaver
Beaver
Nugget.
Nugget.
Cicada wieners.
That sounds super gross.
It's all made out of
What?
compressed cicada wieners.
But
On
Zombies.
Instagram at KK Cast Strength.
All right, McNew.
You can find me on Instagram at McNew, ABV.
For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We also got a company website, abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Come by and see me. The ABV Barrel Shop. Try before you buy. abvbarrelshop.com. And, of course, check out bourbonpalooza.com to see our latest events. The dog's having a good time there. On meters. Dog's all stretching out. Just enjoying life. Yeah.
Living life.
All right, McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the Network.
Great job today, gang. Finance, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
later.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.